Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. Gonna give everybody just a few minutes to come in the room. Hey Cajun, hey Benjamin, hey Camera Stage. I'm gonna give the notification a few minutes to go out. Hopefully everybody is doing well. Hey Dominique, hey Nicholas. Hey DJ Mozzie Phil. If y'all are new, definitely make sure you let me know where you're from, because I love to know where my subscribers are from. And then it's probably going to take a few minutes for the notifications to go out, and YouTube also plays with the numbers a little bit. So hey Deadshot, but hopefully everybody is having a good Tuesday. Deadshot is from Chicago. Okay. Hey Marvin. Marvin is from Baltimore. And Nicholas is from Arkansas. Okay. So it's Tuesday. Y'all know on Tuesday we talk about a couple of different things. Joe is about to get timed out because he come in here saying the same thing every Tuesday. Hey, we got Mississippi in the house. Y'all know that's my stumping grounds. Hey, NT, how are you? Hey, Kenny. Hey, Mel. Pet Way Boy. Hey, Pet Way Boy. Hopefully everybody is doing good. So I don't know if y'all noticed. Hey, Quest. I don't know if y'all noticed, but Twitter is updating their rules and regulations to include language against religion. So y'all know I always talk about what Twitter and YouTube and Facebook are doing. There is a summit that's going to be happening at the White House that is hopefully going to lead to getting rid of all of this censorship and everything else crazy that's going on with this quote unquote hate speech, when we really know that they are trying to silence certain voices, right? Like if you go anywhere away from the mainstream narrative, they find that a threat. And so hopefully we'll be getting rid of some of that soon. So y'all may see some of your people on Twitter being banned more and more. So Mel said he don't think the censorship is going anywhere, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hey, Boom Boom. Yeah, I say screw mainstream too, but they're just trying to make it harder and harder. Hey, Beats by Blue. So Lenny thinks it's gonna get worse. I possibly think it could get worse going into 2020, but hopefully some of this stuff will get nipped in the bud, especially with this summit that's supposed to come up. They're supposed to be talking about big tech and stuff like that, and how it's impacting us. Like I've told y'all, like right now my YouTube live is saying 20 people when I used to have half the freaking subscribers. My chat room used to be 152 250 people. So it's just, I don't know, it's super annoying. But hey Sinclair. So I also want to throw this out there too. A lot of people are talking about Jeffrey Epstein today or whatever. So y'all know Jeffrey Epstein has basically been indicted, I think mostly on nude photos of underage children. Also, you have Ed Book, Okay, so I don't know if y'all remember this. I actually did a video about it, but it was so crazy how like something was happening at the same exact time that the whole Ed book thing was happening, but somehow that took over the media. I did a video about it, but I can't even remember right now. But Ed Book was the white guy who was like drugging these young black guys and like having sex with them and like taking pictures of them and stuff while they're nude and like high, basically like passed out, and like sharing the videos, just doing all this really, really like creepy stuff. And the district attorney decided to literally dismiss the case. I mean, not take it, not take it further. Hey, Roland. And hey, L2. And I'm like, that, y'all, it's crazy. And so I can't remember. If y'all remember what was happening the same time in the media, remind me. But something else was happening. And I'm like, you got a white millionaire, probably, no, I don't think he's a billionaire. I think he's a millionaire, drugging people, having sex with them while they're passed out. If these were women, this would be considered rape. In any other instance, right? Hey, Patina. And the media just buried the story. But anyway, so the black guy's mom, the guy that died, she has basically trying to do a civil case. And so he's going to be charged for like human trafficking and wrong death, revenge porn, and all this other stuff. And then you have this former Canadian guy. Okay. You had this Canadian guy that was formerly in the UN, that's also been, I think, recently brought up on charges for raping little boys. So, like, it's just so much going on, y'all. Like, the guy from the UN was supposed to be like some type of super known humanitarian. I've talked about this on my channel. Y'all have to be very careful with these humanitarian people. Some people actually want to do good and be helpful and have good in their heart, but you have to be very weary of these people that travel, and particularly like you can see with the whole Ed Book thing, right? Like they feel like, oh, I'm helping the underprivileged, because he would go find like these poor black young male prostitutes, right? And I don't know. It's just creepy, and you have to be very wary of people that use these for malicious intent. The people that they're so liberal to the point where they feel like they are doing all underprivileged people this huge favor, right? And it becomes an obsession. And before you know it, they're going to these other countries. They're taking children to other countries, raping them, molesting them. Like a lot of these, y'all are gonna see a lot more of this. Moving forward, a lot of this coming out of Washington, a lot of these big names and stuff like that. I've talked to y'all about how they're starting to teach these children. Thank you, Kenny. They're starting to teach these children in these schools about pedophilia and history. You got Teen Vogue coming out trying to tell teenage girls that sex work is okay. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's a coincidence that they are trying to desensitize us to these things. I just don't think it's a coincidence. I think we're going to see a lot more of this going forward. And I think it's a reason why they're doing this. So when y'all faves, when you find out these people either child molesters or they are turning a blind eye to these pedophile rings and stuff like that, I don't know, they just trying to desensitize us. I don't know what's going on, but it's getting like, it's getting crazy out here. You got no, that wasn't Lifetime. It was some network. I think it was Netflix coming out with a series talking about love is ageless or something like that. Ageless or something. I told y'all about that. Trying to normalize this little girl with this old man in this relationship. And then you got Snapchat with the love has no age filter. Like, if you pay attention in every aspect, we're being hit with it. You have people coming out talking about the children at the Pride parades can handle kink. Like, what exactly are y'all trying to do? All these things are being done as we speak. If y'all not paying attention, you're going to look up 20 years from now and you're going to be wondering how pedophilia has become illegal. Like, that's how serious it's getting. I saw a guy sitting on a panel today. He looked to be like an American Muslim, if I'm not mistaken. But he was certainly like a modernized guy. And literally, I don't know if y'all saw this on Twitter, but he was saying that it's okay to sleep with 9-year-olds, like grown men. Like, y'all, I cannot make this stuff up. It's on Twitter. And Twitter won't ban that. Twitter won't ban that video. You know what I mean? But they will probably be quicker to ban you speaking against some of this foolishness. So I don't know if I'm going to repost that on my channel or what. Kenny said, showing some love and support for your content. Stay blessed, RhondaMary. Thank you. But yes, I can link it later, y'all. But like, that's how real it's getting out here. So if you are not paying attention, you are not watching, you need to know what the heck they're teaching your kids in these schools, these curriculums. I told y'all California is straight up off the freaking charts. They're off the map. I wouldn't trust a politician coming out of California. Y'all better be talking to y'all kids. You don't know what these teachers. Yeah, let me put my phone on silent because my friends group chatting. Y'all know how that be when you're in a group chat and it's just too much right now. Okay. All right, got that. And so, like I told y'all, it's going to be bad. It's going to get worse. And this is why we have to support the voices that are similar to ours. And people can't be afraid to voice their opinion and stand up for what they believe, because what happens is people will try to ostracize people when it's less people standing up for what we believe, right? So some of this stuff, like, I just, like, with the censorship of my channel, it annoys me that I get grouped into a box of far right people just because I, on foundation level, scientific level, biological level, because of what I was taught all throughout school, women have vaginas, men have penises. That's some people find that it's hate speech now. So they're getting to the point where you're going to be banned off a lot of these platforms for just going against whatever the media is telling us. So, hey, Soul Alchemy. Yes. J.O. said far right is an easy smear. And the crazy thing is that I've noticed that a lot of times people just throw out words, right? Like, it's rare that somebody will actually challenge you with their ideas. So they will throw out these buzzwords and these trigger words to just stop you dead in your tracks, right? Because you're either racist or, homophobic or anti-immigrant or anti-Hispanic or anti-women or anti-black or anti-white. Everybody's anti-something these days. You know what I mean? And so they do that. Your toxic masculinity. And it's like, bam, I just need to say something to shut you up, cut you off. Not, okay, I see why you feel that way. Let me tell you why I feel this way. Let me tell you why I don't agree with you. That's how things used to be. But now it's just all the buzzwords to like make you have some type of reaction. But we'll see what happens. So keep y'all eyes open. Y'all gonna see a lot more of these freaking child molesters and all these people being prosecuted, whether people know it or not. This is something that the media tries to hide, but I've talked about this on my channel before. There's a lot of human trafficking also going on at the border. Okay, a lot of the little girls, most of them, I've given the statistics in previous videos. I don't have it on the top of my brain, but literally majority of the girls being brought over here are being molested at some point during that travel. They're being raped or some type of sexual abuse during that travel, and some of them are brought in to be trafficked. And so if we don't know who's coming in, who can account for these girls? Who can account for them? Who can stand up for them? And if they're taken to certain communities, they know that illegal immigrants, are less likely to go to the police. They're less likely to report crimes. So who are protecting these girls? It's not as cut and dry as the media tries to make it, and it just really annoys me, right? Like, I just want them to give a full, fair, balanced spectrum of what's going on at the border. Yeah. But anyway, so yes, Bees by Blue said, have you heard of the rape tree down at the border or in Mexico? So I wanted to Google it. But just by hearing about it, I have not done so. But I have, just because I'm very like, I don't know, like some stuff you just be like, do I really want to see this? Do I really want to know more about this? But mostly, if y'all don't know, and I'm glad Beats by Blue brought this up, but the rape trees are literally where there have been little girls that have been, this is just disgusting, okay? Girls and women that have been tied to trees on the path of coming to the border. Okay, they've been strung to trees. I don't even like to say that, attached to trees, however you want to put it, and raped by several people. So that's a thing. And you're not really going to hear that on your nightly news because they have their agenda to fill. And it's not right. It's sick. It does a disservice to those women and children. And it also does a disservice to the American people because it's manipulation. You're only being given one side of the story. And it's just not fair and it's not right. So yeah, I might want to look more into that. It's bad. It's really bad. But I think nearly like 100,000 people trafficked into the U.S. every year. That's not even counting, the forced prostitution and everything that's already goes on in the U.S. Hey, Gab. So yeah, don't be manipulated about by the, they just want better lives type thing. Because sometimes that is the case, but sometimes it's not, and it's just a lot going on. But anyway, it's that. Did y'all know about the Essence Festival? This was last week. So I'm sure all of y'all know Essence is like a festival. It's a big music festival that is mostly majority Black women. You have a lot of people that go down there. I'm talking about the city is packed out. People make so much money during Essence Festival. I'm sure it's great, amazing for the economy of New Orleans. But you have music, you have a lot of artists that go there. Tanner, I'm getting to it. Tanner said Panda Fest 19. Listen, y'all, you have a lot of music artists. A lot of different people coming together to party, have a good time, eat good food, listen to good music, whatever. Guess who else was there this year? Essence Fest. In NOLA. This year, you had Bill de Blasio, Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris, Beto O'Rourke, and a couple other people too. Elizabeth Warren spoke, Kamala Harris spoke, and I think also Cory Booker, if I'm not mistaken. You can find those videos on YouTube. I know Kamala Harris and Elizabeth Warren did. I also think Cory Booker did. At this point, do people actually still be impressed by such things? Literally. At this point, it's so obvious that it's sickening to me. Like, at this point, a lot of these people, like, I can't even take them seriously. I cannot even take them seriously. Now, Kamala Harris has actually been kind of building her way up for a while. She's been doing this now for, I think, like 2 years or so. And I think that's because she was trying to align herself to American Blackness. Y'all see what's been happening in the media here recently with people questioning, her lineage and all this. I've talked about this a little bit on my channel before. But Kamala Harris did the like Black Women Vote campaign, which I think was like, when was it? I can't remember. Was that during primaries? I talked about that in a previous video though. I think that was during primary. She did that. But my thing is, do y'all remember in 2016 when Hillary Clinton went to the Black Girls Rock on BET? 2016. Year she was running her campaign. Went to Black Girls Rock. Never went before. Sure hasn't been after. She has all the time in the world now. What's she doing? She's in retirement. You can't go make a little visit. No more invites. And people willingly accept this foolishness. Like, are you serious? So you got all the candidates. Are y'all gonna come back next year? The year after? These, like, what I'm talking about is not that far-fetched, y'all. They are freaking politicians. You should constantly be coming up with policies, working on policies to push forward, networking with people, talking to the people, reaching out to the people. Why you can't do this during the off years, regular years? And people are just so impressed. Like, I but anyway, they don't care at all, Lenny. They don't care. And I would think by this point, it is so obvious. I don't know why. I just feel like all of them drove in on a Democratic bus and got dropped off at the front door and just got off the bus one by one, waving like, okay, we're here. Like, I'm just not impressed. And then you literally had, who was this? Like Al Sharpton or somebody tweet in today talking about, why didn't Joe Biden show up to Essence? Why didn't Joe Biden show up to Essence? I'm like, are you kidding me? So you're saying this is a freaking obligation? Like, at least he's more genuine than the rest of the people getting out the freaking clown car. Like, I don't know. That's just how I picture them pulling up, like, and just all hopping out together. Like, oh, we're here. Probably made their appearance and went right back to where they really wanted to be. But I'm like, oh my God, it's so fake. And so Michelle Obama came out and, well, she was asked a question. She was being interviewed because Michelle Obama was also there, of course, and was being interviewed by Gayle. And I mean, she basically dissed him. She basically dissed him. We're at a point where literally everybody is throwing Joe Biden under the bus. Particularly, y'all saw what happened in the debates with Kamala Harris. You've seen how pretty much everybody, I literally think like Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, Cory Booker, they've all came out to either basically say, bad things, negative things about Joe Biden, particularly with this whole segregationist thing, which I'm going to show y'all a little bit video of that first. We can talk about that a little bit, and then I'm going to talk about how this is going into this whole Michelle Obama thing, because everybody is literally just throwing, I'm talking about, they giving your boy Joe Biden, they are not here to play with him. And my earlier predictions were that I really thought that Joe Biden was going to be the front runner. But now I'm starting to have second thoughts, and I'll tell y'all a little bit more about that as well. But let's watch this first. So this is kind of like where it started.
Refusing to apologize tonight after what he said about a time when Congress worked together. Biden citing segregationist senators. He said they were mean, that he didn't agree with them, but that they still worked together. His Democratic opponents pouncing tonight, and Biden standing firm. Here's ABC's Cecilia Vega.
Tonight, one by one, the Democratic presidential candidates are attacking Joe Biden.
even as the former vice president defends himself.
I'm not a racist bone in my body. I've been involved in civil rights my whole career. Period. Period. Period.
It comes after Biden talked about working with segregationist senators as an example of how he's able to do business with colleagues even if they disagree. He mentioned Georgia's Herman Talmadge, one of the meanest guys I ever knew. You go down the list of all these guys. Well, guess what? At least there was some civility. We got things done. And of Mississippi's James Eastland, Biden said, "He never called me boy, he always called me son."
To coddle the reputations of segregationists, it's misinformed and it's wrong.
Senator Cory Booker saying, quote, "I'm disappointed that he hasn't issued an immediate apology."
Are you going to apologize like Cory Booker
Apologize for what?
Cory Booker's called for it.
Cory should apologize. He knows better.
Vice President said I should know better, and this is what I know. As a black man in America, I know the deeply harmful and hurtful usage of the word boy and how it was used to dehumanize and degrade. Other rivals pouncing too.
I don't think you have to be touting personal relations with people who were very brutal segregationists.
It's never okay to celebrate segregationists. Never.
And Cecilia Vega with us here tonight. Cecilia, Joe Biden taking serious.
All right, so y'all hear that. So after that, during the debate, Kamala Harris basically came for him because I told y'all she was going to be looking for that little viral moment, right? And, you know, that was my guess, and she did so, and it basically worked like a charm. So she was just like, you know, why'd you support, you know, segregationist policies about busing, and that would have affected me as a woman of color, and this and the other. And let me tell y'all something. These people are so disingenuous that it is literally mind-boggling, right? Out of all the things that Joe Biden has done, how I knew she was looking for that moment is because, first of all, I think it's interesting that Kamala Harris did not bring up the crime bill, right? But why? That also affected Black people more recently than the busing issue. But why wouldn't Kamala Harris bring up the crime bill? This is how fake these people are. She has to bring up something this man said or did, what, like, I don't know, like 40 years prior. But exactly, Lenny. Exactly. Because Kamala Harris knew that not only if she brought up the whole thing with the crime bill, Bernie Sanders would also have to answer to that. But because she is a prosecutor and she know people on her tail, she know people on her butt for that, that was going to call her record into question. So what do you do instead? You jump back further to bring up issues that were in a different time to get an emotional reaction out of people, right? Like segregation. That's like a emotional trigger. That's an emotional hot button. Oh, let me talk about this. I was that little Black girl on a school bus. Girl, please. You don't, man, come on now. Come on now. Way more people being impacted currently as a result of the 1994 crime bill. Way more recent, but you jump to that. So that's where it started, okay? That's where it started. And see, Sinclair said even though she was in Canada then, and I've seen some people saying she was lying during the debate. She was lying during the debates. I'm like, I can believe it. I didn't really even look further into it, but I can believe it. Hey, Black Introvert. Okay, and then so all this controversy has led up to Michelle Obama.
For the Democratic Party, has anybody caught your fancy, caught your eye? Has anybody said, hey, Michelle, shall we take a picture? Because if I was running, you would be one of the first people I'd call. Has anybody caught your eye? Or,
you know, one of the things, because Barack and I are going to support whoever wins the primary. So our primary focus is letting the primary process play out because it's very early. I mean, that's one of the things that we learned in the campaign. It is early. It's like trying to figure out who's going to win the World Series on the first 7 games. I mean, that's where we are right now. It is so early and things will change.
So you guys don't want to get into it. Because everybody at least thought, well, you know they're going to go for Biden. But you're saying you're going to wait until the primary.
Absolutely, because the general election is so important that we have to get behind whoever comes out of that primary. So we're watching everyone. Yeah. We're supportive of everyone. We are giving advice to whomever seeks it. But ultimately,
you give advice to whoever seeks it?
Anybody who has called or wants to call, I am more than happy.
And your number is?
Yeah, right.
What, if anything, would you like to say about the Kamala Biden dust-up? He apologized today. You've been following that. Do you have any thoughts about that?
I do not.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Moving on.
Now, y'all notice she said, I do not. And she was actually going to leave it at that. But the crowd was so, taken back. You can hear their reaction, their reaction. Kind of like, people weren't expecting that. And so that's when she decided to kind of follow it up. Let me add a little bit more context to this.
Doing this rodeo far too long.
Yeah, moving on.
No comments.
Yeah, move on. And no comment works too. And no comment, by the way, is a complete sentence. What are the qualities that you think make a good president? You can say that.
Well, I talked about this in the last campaign, but nobody listened, Because it's a hard job, y'all. Let's just be clear. This isn't a joke. It's not a game. The leader of the free world with a tweet can start a war, can crush an economy, can change the future of our children. It is a real job which requires deep seriousness and focus. It's somebody who has to have an understanding of history so that you don't repeat what hasn't worked. Having facts is really important. Operating with a base of clear facts and ideas, that's important.
All right, y'all.
We run right into these crises.
So you saw that. Now, I'll say this. I do think that it's good that the Obamas are not officially endorsing a candidate at this point because it's early. It is early. But to me, it is becoming so obvious. I'm really starting to think that Kamala Harris is going to be the establishment pick or one of the front runners. That's what it's looking like to me. I'm really starting to believe that the Obamas favor Kamala Harris. This whole thing, as I just showed y'all, with the Kamala Harris and Joe Biden spat, okay? Hey, Daryl. Hey, G Kimball. But this whole thing with this spat between the two, your husband worked beside this man for 8 years. 8 freaking years. And you can't even speak to his character even a little bit. To me, that, I don't know. Like, to me, that just really makes me look at Michelle some type of way and Obama some type of way, for the simple fact. Let me tell you why. Because y'all don't think these people knew Joe Biden's record before he was VP with Obama? Seriously? Y'all don't think they knew about Joe Biden and who he was, what type of person he was, anything about his character? And if you want to say no, that actually shows a very bad misjudgment on Obama's part. So I wouldn't say no if I was you, because that would actually make him look even worse. You don't pick somebody to be vice president of the United States. You don't pick somebody to be the vice president sitting right beside you and you can't speak to their character. To me, this was like the biggest slap in the face and kind of like some BS, honestly. Imagine working alongside somebody for 8 years and you couldn't even just be like, he's a good friend or he was a great vice president, but right now we've chosen not to endorse anyone. Or I've never known Joe Biden to be a racist. He's a good family friend, but at this moment, we're not endorsing anyone. She clearly threw this man all the way up under the bus. What type of loyalty, what type of integrity is that? Regardless of how you may personally feel about Joe Biden, that's some straight up BS. Imagine you working with somebody for 8 years, so closely. Y'all families, our friends. You know each other well. Hey, Pilu. You know each other well, regardless of if they need him, Lenny. Regardless, and you're absolutely right, they don't need him. But literally, even from an integrity level, this man was your VP and you can't even, your wife can't even utter anything to disparage all of the negativity and hatred that's coming towards him, not even a little bit. How can a person like that be trusted? I mean, honestly, think about that. Think about that. Somebody you worked for 8 years willing to throw you under the bus like that. Hey, David. But how can somebody like that, to me, it really makes them look some type of way, because most times these people stick together. You know what I mean? They stick together. They don't say anything bad about anybody that has dealings with them. And so to me, it's blatantly obvious. It's blatantly obvious that they have their pick. All the things all the things that Joe Biden has done, all the things that people already knew about, and now all of a sudden people don't like him. I just think this is what I be telling y'all. This is how manipulative and how powerful the media is, right? When Joe Biden was the vice president of the United States, people already knew about the Anita Hill hearings. People already knew about the 1994 crime bill. People already knew about the plagiarism controversy when he dropped out from a prior presidential race. People already knew about him voting for Iraq and that whole compliment that he gave Obama about being a clean, presentable, one of the first clean, presentable African-American guys. You know what I mean? People already knew that he eulogized a segregationist. So this is not new. This is not new. But all of a sudden, this is what I be telling y'all. This just shows how powerful the media is. People literally went from loving Joe Biden to now nobody likes him, okay? Let me show y'all, because some of y'all forget, and I love to pull receipts. I love to help y'all remember. Let's go to... Do y'all remember when you... Do y'all remember this era? This was not long ago. I'm talking about, y'all remember the Joe Biden and Obama bromance memes? They were everywhere. Everywhere. Like Cat Williams says, okay? I'm talking about, you couldn't get away from this. You couldn't get away from this. The memes were everywhere. Everybody was posting it. Everybody was so in love with Joe Biden. People, this was not before all those things I just listed to you. All of this was after the 1994 crime bill. All of this was after him eulogizing a segregationist. All of this was after his comments about Obama being the first presentable, nice, clean-cut African-American. These memes were everywhere. They had some of the ones that were like, can I find the ones that had to do with Trump or something? But these guys were side by side for years. People loved, I think people have a lapse in memory. Now, let me explain something. I am not beyond people learning, their opinions changing, but I want to make a distinct point, y'all. The media can literally turn you into an angel and a villain overnight. We're seeing it happening right now before our very eyes. Everybody just loved Joe Biden years ago, but now that the media is painting him as some type of racist, and these politicians are eating it up, right? Because they're trying to knock him out of the race, and they know what's the easiest way to do it, right? Those emotional triggers. Those emotional triggers make people believe he's a racist. Biden, I left a blunt in the helicopter for you. Obama. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, let's be real. Who do you think were sharing these memes? This is the same exact thing that happened with John McCain. I had to remind people. I made a video about that after John McCain passed. I don't think it's anything wrong with, wishing somebody rest in peace or whatever the case may be. I don't see anything wrong with that. But when John McCain was running for office, oh my God, the media made this man everything but a child of God. Y'all know I like to say that. But the media ate him up. I'm talking about up and down. This man was every name in the book. And as soon as he passed, everything changed. I'm like, the people that just hated him years before love him now. Like, can y'all have your own position on people without the media flipping you on and off like a light switch? What's that quote that Malcolm X said about the media? Because I just don't think people get it. And I think sometimes when you say it in other people's words, people accept it a little bit better. Let me see. What was that quote? The media's the most powerful entity on the earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and to make the innocent guilty and to make the guilty innocent. And that's power because they control the mind of the masses. This was Malcolm X back in the 60s. Let me read it one more time. The media is the most powerful entity on earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and to make the guilty innocent. And that's power because they control the minds of the masses. So y'all have to be very careful of these roller coasters that y'all are willing to go on with the media and letting them use and manipulate you to their advantage. Kamala Harris is eating that up for a soundbite. Y'all think she gives a crap? And the media is now about to run with this narrative. They're basically trying to paint this man as a racist. Even though people have known his history for years. Y'all don't think that the media and these politicians knew? So they didn't care. But now all of a sudden they care. Come on now. Just put two and two together. Y'all really think this same media and politicians that have always known Joe Biden's records, these are smart people. These people are older than me. They've been living longer than me. They are well connected. Y'all think the media don't know this man's record? Do you think they care when they were making segments about Obama's and Joe Biden's bromance? That was literally an era. That was literally a viral moment in history when every day I would get on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and people would be talking about Obama's and Biden's bromance. But literally now you have Mrs. Obama who can't even just say, you know what, Joe Biden's been a great friend to my family. But at this time, we're not endorsing anybody. If that in itself doesn't show y'all how cutthroat this politics stuff is, where the line is drawn when it comes to integrity. If that doesn't show y'all how much these people really don't care, how they have agendas, how they change with the direction of the wind, I don't know what can make people understand. I don't know what can make people understand. Biden has done some bad things. He really has. I've talked about the 1994 crime bill. But he also worked under a black president for 8 years, biracial president. Y'all know how I feel about that, but y'all get my point. Worked under him for 8 years. I think sometimes people mistake racist with people that just don't care about you because they're elitist. It's a difference. Because I guarantee you, if Joe Biden can have a dinner with Beyonce and Jay-Z, or Bill and Susie, my hillbilly neighbors from down the street, I think they're going to pick Beyonce and Jay-Z. I mean, that's just my guess. But this is how quick the media will flip on you. This is how quick the media will paint this narrative. This man has been the same man for all these years. And yes, if you want to talk about his policies being bad, during the Obama administration, I get all that. I'm cool with that. I have talked about that on my channel. But I'm literally focusing on how quickly the media can turn somebody from a hero to a villain overnight. Just that fast. And have everybody on board with it. So if they can do that to Joe Biden when he was just this beloved uncle figure, who won't they do it to? Who won't they do it to? And so this comes back to what I said earlier. This is why we need balanced media. We need a spectrum. So just as much as they were selling us that Obama bromance back in 2016, 2012, they should have also been talking about some of these same things. Why didn't these things come up when he was running alongside Obama? That's literally the media's job. Some of these things I think came up. But that's literally the media's job. And so, like, I don't know any other way I can prove to people that these people have an agenda, because we are currently watching this happen literally right before our eyes. We are watching this happen in real time. The media turned Joe Biden hero to villain. Media turned Trump hero to villain. Media turned John McCain villain to hero. So at some point, when it comes to these people, you have to do your own research. You have to come to your own conclusion and figure out where you stand on these people. I personally think that Joe Biden's policies are not that great. He seems to be, I would say, very well. I would call him moderate. And I've talked about how I believe that moderate Democrats should separate from progressives, because I've talked about this on my channel before. Y'all can kind of see the disconnect and what's happening. And what's going to happen is, honestly, I think Joe Biden is way too moderate and old-fashioned for the people that he's up against or the way the party is being led. So what they're going to do is try to push him further and further right. Like, he used to be the one to come out and say stuff like, you know, Black Lives Matter and the white patriarchy. But now he is being pushed into that same category. So it's just funny watching this. For some reason, I guess he thought he was exempt. But now you're going to see people like him being pushed in the same box. So he's very much so like Hillary Clinton, you know, the establishment. And a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people are getting away from that. A lot of people want more authenticity, which I know it kind of sounds weird that I say that. And then, but yet you have people like Kamala Harris that are like one of the front runners, which is really weird. But I don't know. It's just a huge disconnect right now. So if Joe Biden, people like Joe Biden doesn't get together and kind of bring some type of levelness to the Democrat Party, people like him, they're just going to be out. They're just going to be out altogether. You know, this is their last go. You know, this is their last go on the crowd. I mean, it's just coming to an end. That era is going to be over. Nancy Pelosi, I think, recently came out and said something about AOC. So you can see a disconnect there too. People, I think, are trying to get rid of Mitch McConnell. So you have these people like Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi been doing all this pandering, thinking it's gonna save you. And the same things that you have been spouting are coming to eat you. I just think it's funny watching all of this happen in real time. So, but and then also Biden isn't just looking that great either. I don't know. He just seems to be. One thing I can say, I noticed watching the debates, like that look in his eyes, that kind of glossed over look, is the same look that my grandma had those last few years before she passed from dementia. So I don't know. So I just don't think it's looking good for Joe Biden. My original thought was that, you know, he's going to be the front runner. And I think he's still in the lead, but you have people like Kamala Harris making headways in the poll numbers. And so if you have, if you keep seeing more of this, like the Obamas kind of throwing shade and stuff like that, it's over. It's over for him. Send Clip said Biden needs to GTFO. He was cutting himself off like my time's up. Who does that? That was really weird. And actually, if you just really think about that, psychologically, it seems like a very defeatist attitude. You know what I mean? Because you don't have that gusto. Like, let me get my word out. Let me finish. Like, I have something to say. I need to be heard. So yeah, it was definitely weird or whatever. But Anna said it's gonna be Harris and Warren. Harris, president, and Warren VP. Warren VP? Or you think it'll be the other way around? We'll see what happens though. But Patrick, you can email me. You can email me a link, and I'll repost it or post it on my Twitter. But we'll see what happens. And Sinclair said, I agree, but they won't win. They are radical. And that's like where I started getting lost at and just feeling left out and somewhere in the middle, because I'm like, some of this stuff y'all doing not only will directly and negatively impact my community. Like when you look at the illegal immigration thing, and there's other things that I talked about as well. But I'm like, when you get on a stage and every single person raise their hands to, I think they said give health care. I can't remember if they said give, I think it was give health care to illegal immigrants. It's just, I mean, I just be wondering if you even think of things in the most common sense. I'm talking about just straight up common sense. You don't have to be smart. You don't even have to be smart to think about things from a common sense perspective of how that would affect Americans. I mean, just think about it from a common sense perspective. So I don't know. A lot of this is really being disappointing. I've been watching some of Tulsi Gabbard tweets. I haven't done a lot of research on her. I'm actually going to be looking into her a little bit more, because from some of the interviews that I've briefly seen and some of her tweets, she seems to be pretty rational and like level-headed, and probably one of the candidates that has like the most common sense from what I could tell so far about what I've seen from her. She seems very common sense, while some of these other people, I don't know. But, and Lennon says she's too sensible. They won't let her get any time. I can believe it. Sinclair says she's intelligent, well-spoken, moderate, a veteran, and won't get 2%. And I don't know why I also felt like, that's another reason why they wouldn't like her. Well, I don't want to say won't like her, but like wouldn't prop her up, because you would think that her having the experience of a veteran would give her some type of advantage. But I think because there's been this disconnect between the whole thing with the flag, veterans, police, fighting in wars where we shouldn't have been in. Like, I don't even think a lot of people, especially some of these people that are like super progressive, I don't think that veteran status is held to the same esteem as it would have been years before. So, my email is RhondaMary. Don't make me lie. Hold on. RhondaMary videos at Gmail. RhondaMary videos at Gmail. But so, but we'll see what happens. We'll keep an eye on this. I'm interested to see who the Obamas are going to endorse going forward. But I told y'all my guess is going to be Kamala Harris. I have a hunch. that this will be. Anna said, mark my words, Tulsi will be front runner in 2024. We'll keep an eye open. We'll see what happens, especially if you can think that far in advance. But we'll see. I don't know. But Tay do that. Said Kamala has locked up so many black men up. She lies so much. It's just this weird something that I get from Kamala Harris. Like, she just doesn't seem genuine. Like, she just doesn't have that genuine appeal. It just all seems, just very, it's like she tries to overdo it. Like, if y'all remember the Breakfast Club interview that I talked about with that laugh and just trying to be cool, trying to be hip, it just seems so inauthentic. And one thing I will say about Obama, whether his was inauthentic or not, he just was very warm and personable and likable. It was just a energy about him. And Kamala Harris doesn't have that. I don't feel she has that, which that's why I kind of found it interesting that she's taken off in a pose like that. But I told y'all it was the emotional triggers, the whole segregation, busting fiasco. And people love those moments. And when those moments go viral, it kind of triggers people to pay attention or whatever. But Allison says she's the black Hillary Clinton. Yeah, she is. She does kind of remind me a lot about Hillary Clinton. It's kind of like I don't want to say cold, but it's like just a very kind of serious, stiff, type of thing. Whereas both Obama and Trump have kind of like this likability, entertaining, trying to talk directly to you type personality or whatever. But all right, y'all, that's all I have to say for tonight. I'll probably have more videos coming this week. Thank y'all to everybody that supports me for the super chats. Make sure y'all give a thumbs up so this video can be recommended to more people. And I will be talking to y'all soon. Y'all have a good night. Bye.